You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Today, we're going to share more of the story of channeling Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, and how the missing piece that they talked about has already led to metaphysical innovation and the future for this type of original breakthroughs in the energy space. This is so exciting, everyone. Stay with us. Jason asked me to tell the story again of when we first channeled Bashar, Abraham, and Seth. And, I realized that we've talked about it a little bit, but I don't think we
never told the complete story.
No, I don't think we did, and I don't think we shared a lot of the detail.
Yeah.
So, stick with us, everyone. This is, I think this is very interesting. So, Jason and I have been doing channeling for years, but we never really realized that we could go many, many, many different places than we had already been. And so Jason said one day, we were channeling, and he said, "Hey, how about let's channel Bashar, Abraham, and Seth?" And I went, really? And
we were looking around. Frankly, we were doing marketing stuff and saying, okay, let's see who's out there, and
right,
and everybody's talking about Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, and so we thought we'd
give it a try. Yeah, exactly. So we did, and to definitely our surprise, I connected right away. I'm usually the one that is the connect. I connect.
You're the communicator.
I am. I'm the communicator. And so we basically connected right away. And Abraham came forward and he said, "We've been waiting for you." And I'm like, I went,
You were shocked.
I was shocked. And so it took me a minute, and Jason said, "Are you okay?" And we have kind of signals, and I let him know I was fine. And I said, "You're not going to believe this." And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Abraham just came in and said, 'We've been waiting for you.'" And so I told Jason, and he said, "Ask him why, ask him why." This was so exciting to both of us. The energy in the room, by the way, just lifted to a whole nother level.
Yeah, you could feel it. It was a big deal.
Amazing. And so I said, "Abraham, why us?" And he said, "Because you have the missing piece." And I said, "The missing piece? What do you mean?" And he said, "The missing piece of understanding that there is negative energy and how it affects us in so many different ways." And so, of course, I relayed this to Jason, and then Jason basically, he really started, we call it doing a dance. We both just tapped into the energy, and it was so amazing.
You keep the conversation going. And the part that you were asking about before the show is the fact that the work that we've been doing by removing negative energy, our evolution was showing on the other side.
And we didn't, we just, I'll be honest, we kind of just took it for granted. We didn't even think about that it would really make a difference. But because we've been removing negative energy for all of these years,
25
and more,
yes,
it really made a difference. They told us later on that we do shine like a beacon on the other side to other entities that are not here on Earth. And so this was so exciting to both of us. We backed away that day. I basically said, I don't know how much more of this, energy wise I can take. So we
It's
backed
pretty
away.
intense for both of us.
Yes, it is. And so we kind of went about our day, and we went, more than once. Did that really happen? Are we, is all of it? What was this true? Because we're human. We ask those questions.
And one of the most important points is that the work that we've been doing, we know the difference. We see the difference.
Yeah.
And there's subtle cues on when we go out in the world.
Yes.
But they're subtle. And there's no real indication of our evolution. And here someone is coming to us and saying, okay, we see it. Now, and we've even done some shows about that. But in our world today, people see accomplishment. They don't see evolution.
Yeah, and that's really a good point.
It's a big deal.
Well, and
that's what they were talking about.
Wait a minute, I was going to say that. That's exactly what they were talking about, because they see the evolution that we did. And yes, we have accomplished a few things, but they've not seen this type of evolution before, and they told us that. So we went back in the next day. We almost couldn't wait. And of course, so we went back in the next day and said, will you guys come back and talk to us? And they did. And I do have to say, I had a real resistance to connecting with Seth, because my mother, whom abused me with this kind of stuff all the time,
she competed with you.
But it came out as abuse. And it was very difficult for me,
because she knew that you could see, she could see a little bit.
Yes,
but she uses it sort of like, well, I'm better than you, so because I'm studying Seth,
exactly. And by the way, my mother did study Seth, and and I don't mean this in a rude way, but good for my mom. I think it was great. But here's the point: Seth did come forward the next day. Actually, all three of them came back. And I'll start with Seth, since I just started talking about it. And I said, Seth, and she said, yes. I said, I see you as being female, but in all of the other information about you, you're male. And she said, I came forward as a male because it was more accepted for the time. Now, if you think about it, for those of you who are a little bit older, that was absolutely true. The women's movement was in full swing. And so if you wanted to do something new and different, you had to be a man in order to be seen.
And even Jane Roberts, who I think was probably more open-minded than most,
yes,
probably saw an evolved being from a male perspective as being more lofty than a female perspective.
Exactly. So there was that, but Seth assured me that my mother would never get in the way of her and mine, meaning Seth and mine, my communication at all.
Yes.
And by the way, I've not seen any problems with that. So thank you very much, Seth. The next one, by the way, Seth was actually last in the deal.
And she's come forward, and she doesn't push her way forward at all.
Oh, she's kind and sweet, but the information every once in a while it'll come in, and it's true. It's there.
It's the bullseye. It's
every time.
It's very practical, and it's very right on.
Yes,
so
yes.
She
absolutely.
has that quality that's very interesting.
So then of course, I wanted to, I left Abraham last because we had connected with him, and I'll explain that in just a minute. We had talked with him the day before. So I wanted to know about Bashar, and I know what we did the day, this is the part I was trying to remember. The day before, I said, Jason, I don't really know very much about Bashar. Of course, I knew a lot about Seth and a little about Abraham. So he, of course, Mr. Internet, he went and pulled up some information about Bashar. And there was an interview with that Daryl Anka was doing.
He was channeling
Bashar. And the thing that was the most amazing to me about that was it took about 3 seconds, and I said, there's not one Bashar. And Jason said, what do you mean there isn't a Bashar? And I said, oh no, there's three Bashars. And he said, what do you mean? I said, I need to classify them, 1, 2, and 3. And so he said, explain. And so I explained to him that the first Bashar, or Bashar 1, is arrogant and what is the right word I'm looking for?
He's standoffish, and he wants to continue to do it the way it's always been.
Yes.
He doesn't want any more information. He doesn't want to change. He doesn't, that's it.
And he certainly doesn't want someone.
And he's very possessive about what he's been doing with Daryl.
And
but Bashar 2 and 3.
Oh my gosh, they were like, oh my gosh, one more time. We've been waiting.
They were welcoming and accepting.
Oh, it was just wonderful.
They actually even asked us to help them with. It was like Bashar 1 was kind of a little kid that was acting out, and they wanted us to help with that. And we'll talk about that some more. But and we're kind of running out of time.
I hadn't even realized.
Yeah, let's talk about Abraham.
Okay, so Bashar 2 is amazing. He comes from the thinking of an upper council, meaning for information. But Bashar 3 is an elder. Love him. I just think he's amazing. Abraham, at first I saw just one. And then the next day I saw that there was a whole council behind him, and it was like I saw them in the form of a V.
Formed a V, yeah.
Yeah, so I could see, like all of them. That was amazing. So,
and there's one more point that we're going to get to, which is
thank you,
that he's on the advisory board for the Akashic Records, and we're gonna keep working with them. I know the Akashic Records has fascinated Patricia for a long time. Truly. We'll see if we can take something from that to make it usable for you guys in the future.
Exactly. So, Jason, there is one more point. What is the missing piece that's cloaked and covered?
So they came to us. We had the missing piece because dark energy has twisted so many things that we already know about. We already have an inkling about it, but it's been so twisted and obscured, it takes all the power out. It's sort of like what overprocessed food does to nutrition.
Yes.
There's nothing left for people to really benefit from.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about that in terms of the innovations that we talk about with energy today.
Okay, so Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
The channeling of Bashar, Abraham, and Seth is a fascinating story and has revealed many things that were unknown before. The missing piece that we're talking about comes from our depth of understanding of negative or dark energy and how it's twisted or obscured so many things that are in plain sight, but their true power has been obscured or blocked. Yeah. The ecosystem approach is designed to help bring this power to the forefront.
In the next segment, we're talking about the innovations that are happening as a result of the alliance with Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, as well as seeing how slight twists of information have limited research and study. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're talking about the innovations that are happening as a result of the alliance of Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, as well as seeing how slight twists of information have limited research and study. Jason, tell me about Energy Healing 2.0.
This is really exciting for us because, energy healing's been around for thousands of years.
Yes,
it's not new. It's everybody, most people, especially in this space, have some sort of idea that it exists.
An understanding of it.
Yeah. And that, acupuncture, chiropractic is all a form of energy healing, and those things can be very effective. Mm-hmm. But here's what's been twisted or obscured. The problem has been it doesn't include most energy healing protocols doesn't include the real knowing of how dark energy works.
Mm-hmm.
That grossly limits the results and the possibilities.
Absolutely.
The magic happens when you start removing that dark energy.
Yes.
And for the most part, we don't know what it is. We don't know where it is, how it works, how it affects us.
Or how to even get to a place where you can understand it.
Exactly. So some of the things that we've been doing with energy healing, and we're just scratching the surface, because as we continue to remove the negative energy for ourselves, more and more of this comes available to us. For one thing, talking to your body.
Oh yeah.
Is do you have an organ that's giving you a problem? Is your talk to your immune system.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a cold? Talk to your immune system. What happened? Why didn't you protect me from this cold?
Yes. Or why weren't you strong enough to protect me from this virus?
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Yes. You can use yourself as a conduit to apply energy to heal yourself.
Correct.
So when you talk to your essence, and we're going to talk some more about your essence, but it knows already not only what's wrong, but how to fix it.
Yeah.
You don't have to, I mean, I'm not saying you don't have to go to a doctor. Most of us are not in the position where we can usually use this with a surety, but you can find the energies that you need to use to, and we've been doing this for months now, and we're seeing results, and we're just scratching the surface.
Absolutely.
When you know your emotional story, you have a deep understanding of the source of any condition.
Yes.
That's a complete turnabout from what's known today.
Correct.
We think a condition is because of a specific virus or bacteria or condition.
Correct.
But we see it as energy.
Yes.
So if you're looking at energy already, you can go to your essence and say, okay, what is this? And it may not have the same name that traditional medicine does or whatever, but you can get an idea what it is, and then it can tell you how to remove it. Here's the biggie.
Okay.
When you start working with energy of your body, it's preventative. So if you're sitting there listening right now and you've got the beginning of cancer 20 years from now, you can start right now and get rid of it.
Yes.
Don't wait till you get sick. Prevention is the true power of energy. A lot of healthy people can already be sick, but their symptoms just haven't come to the surface. Yes. That sounds scary. It's not meant to be.
Well, but it's true.
It shows the limitation of how we work with medicine today.
Right.
We can only treat something when we see the symptoms.
Correct.
And now with energy, it's just the opposite.
You're right.
And here's the biggest point. Your body should respond to you, your essence, your purpose, why you're here. Your body is here to support that purpose and why you're here, not the other way around.
Yes.
We seem to be victims of our body.
Yes.
Oh, I developed cancer, so I have no choice but to deal with it. It's not supposed to be that way. We determine what diseases or not that we're going to have, or what.
And the other thing is why does one person accept one disease, one person accept another disease, and one person not accept any at all?
Exactly.
I mean, those are really good questions.
Side effects too. I don't want to have the side effect, so you don't need.
Exactly.
If you're connected with your purpose and you're doing it, and your essence is helping you, there's magic. It almost seems like magic that happens.
Well, okay. Next question. Your essence is the key to power, potential, and it's becoming infinite. Explain that, Jason.
We have dismissed our essence. Everybody, if you ask them on the street, do you have a soul? They'd say, well, yeah, I have a soul, but they don't have any idea how to use it. We've been trained to work like machines, where we go outside of ourselves for information.
Correct.
The experts and doctors and other psychologists, whatnot, when we have a problem, to tell us what we should be doing.
Yes.
But the truth is, and this is so obvious, and it's the potential is huge. We have this powerhouse. It's almost like a nuclear reactor within ourselves, which is our essence. but it's dysfunctional right now. For most of it, it's been dysfunctional. That's why we were able to be seen by Bashar and Abraham and Seth on the other side, because we've been taking the last 25 years, and it's taken a while. Didn't happen just overnight. But start removing this negative energy, and we're still doing it. There are still things that we see so many things. The more we remove, the more we see, actually.
Well, and if you think of, I can't resist, lifetime after lifetime, you've collected negative energy, and until now, there's never been a way to figure out how to get rid of it.
I know I've listened to enough of what Abraham, Bashar, and Seth have channeled.
Yes.
That they say things like, "We'll just raise your vibration." With a person without negative energy could just do that
in less than a heartbeat.
What I see though is people aren't able to do it, so they act like they have.
Right.
And that's part of a delusion that happens.
Yes, it does. So, Jason,
the last innovation,
please. The karmic wheel is broken.
And actually, it's not the last innovation. We're just getting started. There's so much that's going to come forward.
I know that. I know. Wait a minute. The last innovation for this show.
Yeah.
Let's go there. Yes.
The karmic wheel is broken, and we have these misconceptions. The main one is that we cycle through lifetime to lifetime, and we have different experiences so that we can evolve and then eventually
learn,
go back to source.
Right.
Okay. That's not happening. In this world today, it is not happening. We're cycling this. We're making the same mistakes over and over again. We die and we come back and do the same thing all over again.
Yes.
It's not getting better. Why? Because we don't understand dark energy.
Yes.
And because we don't understand it, we're not removing it, and it's just building up and building up. It's like a sore that's festering.
Well, when oftentimes when I look at people, I will see past life
information.
Thank you. And I'll say to someone, well, did this happen? Did you have a broken arm? When did you break your arm? Things like that. And that never happened. Well, I see that, yes, that it did happen, but we carry these negative energies. Remember, negative energies from lifetime to lifetime. And unfortunately, they do fester at times.
There's another karmic misconception. People say, well, he did something bad, and bad to me usually, and that's going to have bad karma for that person. So, they're going to be punished. Well, we don't see that punishment happening. The opposite of that is, you do something nice for someone, paying it forward, that sort of thing.
Yes.
That doesn't happen either, because that negative energy is always on both sides.
And it twists it.
It twists it. Yes, exactly. And it covers it up, and it keeps that positive karma and negative karma from really working as it was described by the ancients. It's not working that way anymore.
Correct.
And it's because of the amount of negative energy here in the world today.
Well, and we are trained to believe that well, I remember this one. I have to be good, because if not, then I pull in
negative karma. Yes.
Negative karma, and I will pay a price. My mother's expression was, "There will be hell to pay." Well, okay, that's all fine, and people understand that expression a whole lot more than the karmic wheel is broken. They don't get it.
Well, and bad deeds are so subjective anyways.
Exactly.
When your mom said there's going to be hell to pay, it's what you have to behave in the way that she wants.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what's in the best interest of the situation or the.
And you knew her?
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm being, flip it there. The bottom line is that, yes, that was exactly the way it went. So, Jason, tell me what the summary of the segment is.
Some of the metaphysical energy innovations that come from the alliance with Bashar, Abraham, and Seth are energy healing 2.0, but it's been known for thousands of years now that you can have real power to heal, but it's been twisted, obscured.
Yes.
We don't see it. It's there. It's there in plain sight, waiting for us to use, but it's been obscured just enough so that we're not using it. Personal power potential is now truly infinite, but it must be an individual internal process that cannot be delegated to someone else outside of yourself. You can't go to someone and say, hey, help me evolve.
Right.
It has to come from you. And the clarity and that karmic wheel is broken is based on the clarity that dark energy has infected all of us. But the hope comes from exposing it and seeing that how it can be removed.
Wait.
Yes, the ecosystem approach is designed to show you how to go inside yourself and develop your own natural power.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to get universal acceptance of subtle energy and subtle energy practices accepted and studied. That's a biggie. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how to get universal acceptance of subtle energy and subtle energy practices accepted and studied. What a concept. We'll also talk about the natural human ability to work with it, meaning subtle energy. Jason, will subtle energy practices ever be accepted?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that if we came up with a better argument, it would be accepted, and that's not true.
Okay.
And so this is the insight that we have, and we've been talking to the three, Bashar, Abraham, and Seth, about this for a while because it's been a personal thing for me.
Okay.
This idea of subtle energies, intuition, all these things, as outliers, that you're a weird person if you do that. Or, I've had so many people talk to me, well, I had this impression, I had this feeling, but don't think I'm crazy or don't think I'm weird, for having those things.
Yes.
That's just off. And, but it's not so how do you get the scientific world, for example, which is the holder of a lot of that power,
yes,
to move? Well, in simple terms, it's not. It's an energy. It's an energy process.
Correct.
And it's not about having the best argument. As you start to remove negative energy from yourself, it affects everything and everyone around you. And as when there's a critical mass of people removing that negative energy, things are going to shift. The thoughts are going to shift. Now, if you followed astrology at all, you know that right now, first of all, we're in the age of Aquarius. So this is a new age where these kind of things will be accepted. But just because there's an energy to support that doesn't mean it's actually going to happen or going to happen enough.
Or it's going to happen right now. That's the other thing.
It happens on the fringe, but in terms of having science and incorporating it into medicine and things like that, that doesn't necessarily happen. You have to take some sort of action. And it's so clear that science, which can be reduced to what the technology is basically O's and ones, the machine language of computers. I'm being a nerd here, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. It doesn't really matter anyways.
Correct.
Because of AI, they figured out how to.
That's true.
So you don't even know to go there, but life has so much more depth and breadth than that. And as intuitives,
wait a minute, we see back up and say real life.
Yes, we see it. It's like a rainbow of motives and things that are happening that a scientist who just sees black and white compartmentalized. Yep. What is tangible, that filters out so many things, emotions, artistic qualities, the things that make life alive and worthwhile. So those things have to happen. So we need to talk about the next one,
which is the path of acceptance.
To acceptance.
Okay, the path to acceptance. Jason, what is it?
Well, the way you do it is you overwhelm it with positive energy. How do you do that? Well, it's not changing your attitude. It's one of the biggest misconceptions. Changing your attitude doesn't change the energy. It just makes you act different. And when you act different, it becomes phony.
Well, and not only that, but it sets you up to be a victim to something.
Yes. Yes.
That's the way I would describe it.
Well, that's been the experience of when that happens. But if you can't do something, so you just act like you're doing it, you become phony. And a lot of times there's so many people out there that can't tell the difference between real and phony. And the difference really is the energy. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So I made up this metaphor to help understand this process and how we can change the world. Okay. And I know that everybody talks about, well, that's going to change the world. This is going to change the world. We're going to talk about exactly how you can do it in just very simple terms. So imagine your essence or soul is made up of bits of life force. And just in an arbitrary way, let's say that your soul has 100 bits. We all have 100 bits of life force.
It's an easy number. Yeah.
Right. We've seen, and we can talk about this more, but most people, almost everybody, and this doesn't exclude people who have achieved greatness, have 80 of those bits of 100 covered, impacted, numbed, or made dysfunction by dark or negative energy.
Correct.
So 80 out of 100, so you only have 20 left. So let's say we take 10 people and we help them clear 40 bits of that 80 of negative energy from their personal essence. And we take 10 people, so we've taken 40 per person, that's 400 bits. So there's 400 bits less of negative energy in the world. But now let's take 1,000 people, but instead of clearing 40 bits, which takes a lot, and we've been doing it, we see how much time and energy it takes.
That's correct.
We take 1,000 people and just clear 5 bits for each of them. That's 5,000 bits of negative energy that's been removed from the earth.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's how things start to shift. That's how thoughts start to shift. And that may seem like magic. That may seem like airy fairy type stuff. It is not. We don't see subtle energies as something that's real and tangible because we don't have any experience with it. We work with it every single day.
Yes, we do.
We see it, we feel it, we perceive it. So the way you change the world is get enough people removing just a little bit of negative energy so that these ideas and beliefs can shift. I remember the first time I cleared you, we had just met, and you talked about how the colors were more vivid.
That was absolutely incredible. I woke up the next morning. He was busy and I was busy, and so we couldn't connect and be in person. So he did the clearing process that we have, of course, expanded since then. And he said, "Yeah, I'll work on that this weekend." Well, I woke up on a Monday morning, and it was one of the most incredible things because, first off, I woke up and it wasn't like I went, "Oh, you got to get out of bed and go to work," which was my norm.
Yes.
Notice I said was my norm for the time. That in itself was incredible, but I didn't notice that part. I just got up and started moving around. It wasn't until I actually left the house and I noticed that the colors outside were brighter, and I thought, "Oh, well, maybe I got a good amount of sleep," that kind of thing. But I kept noticing more bright, more vivid. The next thing that I noticed that I wasn't standing next to, I was riding from one side of the Bay Area to the other into San Francisco. And I noticed that I didn't choose a seat that was sitting next to somebody that was grumpy and that sort of thing. Things were alive. I could see life around me. It was amazing.
So the most important part of this is that removing this critical mass of negative energy.
A different perspective happened.
It does. That's the point. Exactly. A different perspective. But if we remove enough of it, it won't just create a path to acceptance for subtle energy. A lot of the social ills will be removed, like prejudice. Whether it's ethnic based, gender-based,
religious-based.
Yes. All sorts of it would be removed, and people would just be naturally more optimistic.
Yes.
And these toxic beliefs wouldn't be as you know what toxic beliefs are. You just know it, kind of. And
yes,
those would be removed also.
So all right, then, Jason, let me ask this question. What is the bridge to personal acceptance?
So most of this information is aspirational. Okay. I know people, when they're listening right now, they're not in that place. They haven't spent the last 25 years. And we see how hard it is having done it for 25 years.
Yes.
It's not a walk in the park. And you see things about yourself that most people don't want to see. So how do you start? Well, you start just where you're at, and you take a little baby steps. And in the next segment, we're going to do some clearings and show you how to do that, and just get you started. So hang in there with us.
And by the way, I need to say this. This has been the journey, the most fascinating, amazing journey of my life. And by the way, I can see other lifetimes and those lifetimes too. But the point that I'm getting at is I wouldn't have missed this. Knowing what I know today, I am so glad I didn't miss this.
Well, the difference is that not only does it help you see more, and by the way, we all have intuition. It's not just us.
Yes, no, it isn't. Yeah.
It helps you see more, but then when you see it, these subtle energies, you can do something about it. Oh my gosh, that's
huge.
Yes, it is huge.
It is huge. So, with that said, Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
The only way to change the prejudiced and discounting of subtle energies in professional circles is to change the energy. This applies to all types of social ills and challenges. Acceptance comes when a critical mass of people have removed enough dark energy from the world, from themselves. The world will start to shift. Personal shifts happen when you remove enough dark energy from yourself. Those shifts don't happen overnight. They require a form of an energy bridge. It's important to start now, especially with yourself.
Absolutely. In the next segment, we're going to show you how to do some clearings to help you remove some negative and dark energy. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to show you how to do some clearings to help you remove some negative and dark energies. Jason, let's tell everyone how to do the clearing. If you already know how to do that, just stick with us. We'll get to the clearings in just a moment. If you don't, this is definitely worthy information of knowing.
So we're going to tell you right now, if you want the words, not only for the clearings, but the statement before and a picture of the processor. Emily's going to put the picture of the processor up now.
Yes.
You can go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and at the bottom, there's a place to sign up for the newsletter.
Okay.
And at the bottom of the homepage, there's a tab to sign up for the newsletter. All we ask for is your email address. So why don't you do that now so you can get the benefit of this, because the more you do these clearings, the more negative energy you remove, even if it's the same clearing.
Exactly.
So here's how it works. You have to use your imagination, your mind's eye, and when we say to eliminate, and sometimes it's veils and illusions, sometimes it's a hurt and pain, sometimes it's specific emotions,
right.
Sometimes it's barriers. Just imagine those and gather them up from the tips of your toes, blow them out, and blow them into the processor.
Now, that processor, I'm going to jump in and say that processor is very, very important. You don't want to throw negative energies around the room, because first things that'll happen is you'll get up and walk right back into them. I'm one of these people. I struggle when I waste time. That's a big deal. But the other part is that you want the benefit of removing this negative energy. So put it in the processor. If the processor is too small, or if your energy feels too big, in your mind's eye, just make it bigger. It's okay. It's your processor. Okay.
Well, and the best way to understand the processor is sort of like in the old days when you have to have the outhouse. So and you didn't want to use the bathroom in the house because you don't want to have that stuff around you. Well, it's sort of the same thing with negative energy.
Yes.
So instead of letting it hang out around you, and I'm sorry to say this, but I bet some of you right now that are listening are saying, "Okay, I can feel that." I can feel that negative energy around me right now.
Yes.
And you want to get rid of it. The processor is the way to do that. So,
Way to go.
it's that simple.
Okay.
And shall we start?
Well,
You want to talk about activating?
No, we'll do that in just a minute. Okay.
So here we go. And if you want the words here, and I'm going to say it really quickly, but if you want the words, remember, go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, sign up for our newsletter. It's in the bottom in the foot there.
Yes. So, Jason?
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can name any pain, challenges, hurts, or blocks in my life right now.
Wow. Nice and easy. Take that, whatever you've named, and say it's a challenge. Pick it up from the tips of your toes, bring it up to your mouth, blow it into the processor that I recommend it being on the left side. And then, well, let's do one with pain. What kind of pain have you got going on right now?
So let me do the next one because I didn't tell you about this. So,
oh, excuse me.
Okay, so take that right now. So the hurt and pain. So you're going to describe any hurt, pain, or feeling that you have right now. So here's how it goes. And to eliminate the hurt and pain of a feeling, like say the hurt and pain or feeling, think about it in your mind's eye. I'll give you just a second. That is affecting me now.
Yes.
Just think of that, and gather it up in your body, blow it into the processor. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's you don't want to go to work. Maybe it's you're not feeling good for whatever reason.
Sure.
Just take that feeling, put it in the processor.
How about, and to eliminate the hurt and pain of depression.
Yes.
Pick up the depression.
Hopelessness.
Hopelessness, and throw it away. You know what? It's an energy, and you can do something about it for yourself. Nice and easy. Take a breath. So, and do you mind?
Yeah.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that the repetition of these clearing statements will be what's needed to remove this dark energy, because sometimes that negative dark energy doesn't want to move. It's stubborn and it's stuck. Just pick it up and throw it away. Pick it up again and throw it away. Jason?
And to eliminate the veils and illusions. So as I remove this dark energy, I can see my issue more clearly. I can use that clarity to be more precise with my clearing statements going forward.
Yes.
That happens to all of us. As you remove more and more, you get more and more clarity about what exactly you're removing.
Right.
So use that. Be specific when you're using your clearing statement.
Pick it up. And I'm going to say this. And to eliminate the blocks that are keeping me from being specific when I'm ready about the pain and the hurts and the whatever you're feeling, be it physical, be it emotional. Pick it up right now. And Jason?
And to eliminate the pain or challenge I have with any other feelings that I have right now, and name the feeling.
Yes. Take a breath.
Do it again. And by the way, if this is speaking to you, if this whole show is saying, yeah, I want to start removing this subtle energy for myself. I want to start having this power that we're talking about.
Yes.
I want to have this clarity and this intuition that we've been talking about. Go to our YouTube channel, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Roan. Subscribe, watch one of our shows, like us. We appreciate those likes, but most importantly, subscribe to our channel, because that's how you get more and more of this information.
Yes.
It's like feeding you. It's feeding this positive energy for you.
Exactly. So after I do clearing. One of the things I do is I activate life force. Life force energy is the most powerful energy that any of us has access to. And learn how to use this life force energy for your benefit. It goes like this. Repeat after me. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force so I can use life force to have hope for a better life, activating life force and other energies in the future, because I can see this is where the power is present. You're going to pull it in through the top of your head. You're going to let it go all the way to the tips of your toes. You're going to ask it to turn around and come back up your body, gather up negative energy, and throw it away. Blow it out.
If you're all about learning about these new energy innovations, we're going to be talking about all these things,
Yes.
how the dark has obscured these little things, and there's really more power in some of these things that we ever really understood before. And you want to start removing this negative energy, go subscribe to our channel, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Roan on YouTube. And when you subscribe, then you'll be getting these shows every week.
Yes.
Not every week, but every other week.
Yes.
And what happens is that it'll feed that part of you, that essence, your essence that is desperate to be healed,
Yes.
to have that negative energy be removed from it. And
Yes.
at the end, we always do clearings at in the last segment of our shows. So as you do that, you can start to build up, and you may want to say, okay, this is for me. I want this.
Absolutely. And by the way, the more clearing you do, the more you're going to say to yourself, I want more of this. I want my life to change, because the truth is, I know no one's life is perfect.
And of course, we're not just on YouTube. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Okay.
And you can find us in all those places also.
Exactly. So, Jason, if you felt some physical sensation,
if you get a buzz, and this is sort of a sign, this is the time when people are waking up to their own consciousness.
Age of Aquarius.
Age of Aquarius.
It's here for a reason.
And I guarantee you, for those of you that are listening right now and you've stayed with us until this part, it's talking to you. It's saying something. There's something special about your essence that's saying, I want this. I need this.
Yeah.
I don't want, want this to be the way it is. And by the way, we confuse evolution with accomplishment. And if you feel like you've completely failed in your life, if nothing's ever really gone right, this is the way. It may not be that you're bad in this world today. There's a lot of dark energy in the accomplishment side of the world.
Yes.
And so this is something that that takes that natural part of you, that organic part of you, and say, yeah, you can still do it.
Yes.
You can still make this happen.
So join us, stay with us, tell friends, and get a clearing partner and do clearing together.
Watch the show together.
Exactly. Yes. We'll connect in 2 weeks for another show at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Living like an ecosystem is a key to the better life for you.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.